Alright boys, welcome back to another video. This video isn't something that I usually do, but I'm still gonna do it anyways for two reasons. One, it's fun and easy to make, and two, I get to rant about some mystical cringe compilation that I encounter in real life. So if you're busy or you're playing a game right now, you can put this in the background and let it play, cause this is a storytime video meaning that there's nothing on the screen. That is unless you're a lunatic who's still gonna watch the video regardless, which in that case, I prepared some background gameplay for you to watch, along with subtitles to keep up, in case you're having a hard time keeping up. So if you don't mind, please watch till the end of the video, sit tight and enjoy. You can probably guess from the title that this one is about my friends. Not my online friends, but my real life friends. Alright, before we start, I want you to think of the person you hate the most. Now think of the most derogatory term you know that describes them. Whatever way you just start off, there's a very high chance that you can apply to these guys. Maybe I'm just being too over dramatic, but whatever. I won't waste any more of your time, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, to start this video, we're gonna have to go way back. Not really way back, just a few months ago, way back. So, my birthday is in a few days. Naturally, I wanted to spend it with my friends, which is, unfortunately, these idiots. One of the friends in this group is also the same birthday as me, which will be important later. And he's also the first friend I've ever made in this school, which is, it's not important at all, I'm just bringing it up for fun. Anyway, since this is a birthday-oriented hangout, I don't want to leave out this guy. So I asked him, what do you want to do? And this guy, I'm kinda tired of calling him this guy, so I'm gonna give him a nickname. Yeah, he can have the nickname Aang. He's pretty obsessed with going bald. Each time when his hair grows even a little bit, he would shave it all to borderline baldness. And he also thinks he's a hero after this entire situation. Actually, I'm gonna be real, I just asked my friend and he gave me this name, so going with this. So anyways, after being asked what he wants to do, Aang over here says he'll just follow my plans, which is very important for later. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of very important information to remember for later, but just trust the process, everything will be worth it eventually. Anyways, he literally typed nothing but he will follow what I do. So I did the planning and stuff and the day comes. We had a bit of a rocky start this morning because I guess I caught Aang in a bad mood, which like, geez man, it's your birthday, cheer up. Anyway, slowly but surely, these waking up at 12 PM idiots slowly start showing up. And everything goes pretty normal until the second activity comes. So, I would say over half the group. Not all the group, just slightly over half. We had a group of 8 people, I think, I forgot, it's been a while. Didn't want to do the second activity that I planned. But guess what? It is a birthday hangout, not a normal hangout. They're supposed to follow my orders. Even if you want to say that's bullcrap, the night that I was planning this, they all agreed to it. So naturally, they should all follow suit without much complaining, right? Well, probably not, because one dumbass started saying majority opinion. Which, like, as I said again just now, if this is a normal hangout, fine, majority opinion you have there. But this is a birthday hangout. So no, there should not be any majority opinion. And I see Aang just sitting there looking like he's not going to leave anytime soon. So I asked him, what's he gonna do? He said he agrees with them that they should do what they want to do. So basically all these limp dick morons just agreed to what I planned in my own birthday hangout and then changed it all when the time has come. On top of that, they didn't even pick a good one. I hated what they picked. By this point, I'm pretty much just staying to do something I don't want to do. So what do you think I did? Yeah, I just silently walked out of there. I didn't even tell them I left. I just dipped out of there immediately. And only after they realized that I left, which is 10 minutes later, did they realize how much they screwed up. Actually, never mind. That's kind of an overstatement because guess what? Only like 1 or 2 apologized. Everyone else either didn't apologize or just started rage baiting me. Which I would say more, but this is for later. It didn't actually happen now. Later that I was pissed off as hell. Even some people from the group could tell I was pissed off. So the next day when I woke up, I started blasting all of them in a group chat, calling them idiots, calling them morons, just calling them everything. Don't worry, I'm not just only throwing insults. I even told them why they're wrong. Probably shouldn't have because only one is saying sorry. Everyone else was either just rage baiting me or just trying to deflect blame. Eventually this kept on until Aang wakes up. And do you wanna know what's the first thing he did after seeing all this? Not trying to address anything, immediately goes to rage baiting me and say that I should apologize, not them. And after I wasn't having any of it, he just kicks me out the group chat. Yeah, he's the group owner, I forgot to tell you that. Naturally, the next thing to do is to take it to his DMs. But when I took it to his DMs, from the way he was talking, you can tell he was prepared for all this to happen. So after pulling off all this bullcrap, instead of trying to solve it all with me the next day, he decides to brace himself to cut off this 4-year-long friendship. Whoa, we love snakes, don't we? Not only that, he was not interested in hearing anything at all. Every time I tried to tell him something, he would reply in the most dodging statements ever. And yeah, eventually there would be nothing else to keep the argument going, so we just ended it there. So all this ended with me getting kicked out of the group chat and losing a bunch of friends. Amazing. Now, if this just ended here, I wouldn't make this into a video because it would be too short for one. Here's where the second moron comes into play. I'm trying not to use swear words because I'm lazy to censor and it would make the video sound bad. I'm gonna call him Stickbug for no reason at all. I just felt like calling him that. So Stickbug here tries to be the mediator of this whole thing, and you wanna know what's the first thing him as a mediator do? Is to put as much blame as he can on me. Like saying the way I talked was too mean, blah 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 blah, even though I was very justifiably angry. He would always boast about he treats everyone equally, there's no bias in between each other, and a lot of stuff. So he himself says that he thinks Aang is wrong. But when I brought up the fact that everyone who I talked to about this situation, which is a lot of people, said that I was right, he was like surprised Pikachu face, but he was like, wow, what? It's almost as if he said Aang was in the wrong just so he can appease me, which is a very big foreshadowing for later. Anyways, I can feel his surprisedness. Is that even a word? I can physically feel how surprised he was when he heard that everyone is siding with me. Outside the group chat, of course, because everyone in the group chat doesn't want to be wrong. So I dared him to go tell Aang's dad about this whole situation and ask him who's wrong, me or Aang. Now let's stop there for a second. Before he starts saying that's pretty cringe telling someone's dad about this whole thing. Yes, it is cringe on paper, but guess what? You wanna know what's more cringe? Telling someone's dad about two other people's entirely different beef. Yeah, so for some context, I got into a beef with a very annoying kid that no one in the school likes. And Stickbug, I don't know why, told Aang's dad about our beef and asked him who's wrong, me or him. So if he's gonna tell Aang's dad about two other people's entirely different beef that has no correlation to anything, I feel like it's pretty fair that he'd tell his dad about a beef that's involving his son. But maybe I'm just being crazy, and if you guys think I am, just type it in the comments. Anyways, he agreed to tell Aang's dad about it, and guess what? He never told him about it. Probably because he knows that Aang's dad is going to rip him apart and force him an apology, which is gonna embarrass his owner a lot more. But yeah, I didn't know he was the right-hand man snake, so we hung up the call and went to bed. The next day, Stickbug convinces me to try to talk to Aang one more time to try and solve this. And when I did, bro did not want to solve this at all. Bro had his mind fixed on cutting me off forever. With no shame, and even later into the argument, he types it out again. He wrote that he's only friends with people who are worth it to be a friend. Which, I don't know, man, if I wasn't worth it, then why did you stick around for 4 years? Not only that, he literally outright typed out that he thinks he did nothing wrong. And his reasoning as to why he thinks he did nothing wrong is, and I quote, "I told you in the group chat I was going to leave after the first activity." Which is, first of all, no he did not. No one saw it. You wanna know why? Because he didn't type it at all. Every single person in the group chat who I talked to about this, they said they never saw it. And second of all, even if he said it right, even if he told me he was gonna leave, then why did he help them reschedule everything? Shouldn't he be gone after the first activity? This is the stupidest cover-up I've ever seen in my life. Although in retrospect, my mind wasn't thinking very clearly, so I didn't think of that. And this guy wants me to go find his own proof for him. And even if I was to go find it, it wouldn't be there. And he would still be telling me that it is there and it's there, I'm just not searching enough, and he won't be helping me search it. That's definitely what he would say, honestly. So yeah, he's still up with the narrative that he told me he was gonna leave after the first activity. In fact, during this time of recording this part, yesterday I went to go search the group chat again, and no, I couldn't find it at all. So anyways, he just dodged that as usual, nothing special. Even at the end of the argument, he outright typed out that he's not here to solve the problem, he's here to solve the guy who caused the problem. Which is like, what do you even want me to say about that? And let's just say even if he's here to solve the guy who caused the problem, right? He has said nothing productive so far, and this is like at the very end of the argument. In fact, I pinned him to the wall so badly that he eventually just said, "Okay boy, just stop talking." Like he couldn't dodge anymore. Like I guess he ran out of energy to keep up his ultra instincts or something, so he told me to just go away. So yeah, argument concluded, no problem solved at all. And when I talked to Stickbug about this, he sounded like he was very annoyed, like tired of it. Which, man, if you're gonna step into a beef between two people that you have no involvement in, then why are you getting mad if it's not ending at all? But anyway, he started getting frustrated and told me to not message him about this situation again. Which, I don't know, man, what do you want me to bring up other than something that just happened fresh? And then he said he would try his best to solve it later. Which, no, he did not actually. Like, he knows the moment his owner steps out of their little echo chamber group chat, they're going to get flamed. You know, in hindsight, I should have realized he was always secretly siding with Aang, but I didn't care at that point, so I just agreed and just left it there. Fast forward about a month later when school reopens again. It was a normal Wednesday night, I was trying to study for a big exam. And that's until Aang messaged me out of nowhere. He's now here to ask for his PS4 disc pad that he himself gifted me. For some context, a while ago we traded PS4 discs with each other. And after a few days, he for some reason gave me back mine and told me I can keep his. Don't you feel like it's pretty lame that you're gonna take back someone's gift that you give them because you regretted being their friend? Like, a gift is a gift, it's theirs now. And do you guys wanna know how I know it's a gift? Because that whole disc exchange thing happened 4 years ago. Yes, we did that 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, he gave me back mine and told me I can keep his. So like, if you're not even gonna ask for it back after 4 years, and you never once stated that it was to borrow me, I feel like it's pretty clear that it's a gift at this point. Anyways, I was still studying for my exam, so I just ghosted him, honestly. The next day when I was talking to Stickbug about this, he told me that Aang was in their VC, complaining about me! Yes, complaining about me, keeping something he quote-unquote borrowed, which, no, I'm not keeping it, you just didn't ask for it back at all. And guess what, not only that, throughout the whole 4 years, he already came to my house a few times. In fact, his most recent visit to my house was 2 months ago before all this situation happened. And every time when he visits my house, he would acknowledge that the game is still there. Still keeping up with the tradition that he can never be wrong. So here's when Stickbug does the only smart thing he does throughout this entire situation. He asked him, then why did he let me keep it for so long? And Aang's response is that he wants to let me finish the game. Which, first of all, I don't know what game takes 4 years to finish. If you guys know about a game that takes 4 years to finish, let me know in the comments. And second of all, out of any game that would take 4 years to finish, I don't think Devil May Cry 5 would be the game. Yeah, you're hearing it right. This guy gave me 4 years to finish Devil May Cry 5. Yes, we're talking about the same Devil May Cry 5 that you can buy on Steam and beat it under 2 hours and still get a refund. Yes, that game. I'm talking about that game. Even if I'm going for a 100% completion, I don't think it will take him more than 1 month. But anyway, Stickbug's W streak ended abruptly after asking a question and being stupid about it. So he asked Aang, why does he not want to be friends with me anymore? And Aang's response is, and I quote from Stickbug, why would I want to be friends with someone that could harm me? Which, I don't know, man, if you didn't want to be harmed by me, you probably should have stopped being friends with me 1 year into the friendship. Because I know that he once saw me almost throwing a chair at someone that was pissing me off. Also, I like how the definition of someone that could harm him is someone who's mad at him. By that logic, he should, I don't know, get as far away from his parents as possible. Because no way in his life did he not get scolded or got his parents mad at him once in his life. Unless he's like the angel child who descended from heaven and can never do anything wrong. Oh, and you remember when I said Stickbug's W streak ended abruptly? Yeah, after hearing that bullcrap of an excuse, he just went, alright, that's fair. He agrees with it. No, that is not fair at all. If you put 1% extra thought into it, you would know that it's complete bullcrap. And do you know how I know that he wasn't using his brain? Because I once saw him watching me, going after someone that was provoking me. But yeah, in retrospect, I don't know why I didn't bring that up to him. So I just let it slide. Anyways, the day goes by normally until lunch, where he approaches me and for the first time, he actually mans up and asks me face to face for something. So when I told him that he himself gave it to me, he starts screaming, proof, proof, proof. Like, he just started copying what I did, except the only issue is he can prove his, and you can't really prove a real-life situation without a CCTV camera capturing his room 24/7, which is my case. And let's just say I had proof, right? Let's just say I had proof. This guy would not let me speak at all. Each time I tried to say something, he would cut me off. And after cutting me off like 20 different times, I just went full volume to out loud him. Which is kind of an L move, honestly. Like, you shouldn't scream in the public. And he finally shuts the fuck up for a second. And here's why I did a thing where it's pretty controversial, you would probably say. Yeah, I split him with food in my mouth for 2 reasons. 1, so the food would also get onto him. And 2, I can fake it so that it would look like I was talking while having food in my mouth and it went all over him. Now this male teacher, who's not teaching any of us secondary students, he's a primary school teacher of this school. So he walks up to me and asks me if I want to solve this myself or I want them adults to solve it for us. So I said solve it myself. And this fatso goes, no, you're not allowed to do that. Then why the fuck did you ask me, retard? So whatever, I just go along with it because he's the teacher. What am I gonna do, get expelled? When I told him it's a long story, he wanted me to explain it all, right? So he gave both of us a piece of paper and wanted us to write down the whole story. So I wrote down something about this guy being salty over me keeping a gift from him that he doesn't want me to have anymore because he regretted it. I noticed that Aang passed up his paper so much quicker than I did. But when I passed my paper to the teacher, I took a sneak at his paper. And bro wrote like 1 sentence just saying he wants his PS4 disc back. Which is, if that's not disingenuous, I don't know what is at this point. After school is over, it kicks me out of the shitty little group chat again. Oh yeah, I left out that a few days after I got kicked, one friend of admin added me back, although he lost his admin because of that. And for some reason he didn't kick me at all. But now he did. Although I barely care anymore at this point, I finished the game 4 years ago, so I just gave him the crap disc back. Anyways, do you guys still remember the reasons I stated when I spit at him with food in my mouth? When the teacher was asking me about it the next day, I just lied saying that I was just talking food in my mouth and it got all over him. When she asked Aang about it, he just said not sure, El Bozo get manipulated. Like, if you're gonna be a manipulator, at least be better than the person you're trying to manipulate. Nope, he's terrible at it. Like, yeah, I got off scot-free because this guy's an idiot. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. Until I told you that Stickbug is not done with it yet. You see, he's upset that his owner just stopped there. He wanted more. So like one day when we were jokingly talking about whether I'm a good person or not, and he started getting serious and then listing down the reasons I'm quote-unquote not a good person. I'm pretty sure I did many things that he can list down for that's for reasoning as to why I'm not a good person. But out of any reason that he picks the one where this guy that I wasn't friends with at that time, I'm friends with now, he was randomly trash talking me across the table. So I decided to go after him. Which, okay man, nice choice you got there. But anyways, the lesson is over, so we took it to DMs. And then he started like genuinely getting pissed off, trying to scold me as he moved on to his next reason, bringing up the cafeteria incident with Aang. And he started saying, you screamed and spit at him, you think that's okay, is it? But then when I tried to tell him that a causation must happen for a correlation to happen, just the normal thinking, and also the theme of the whole drama, bro said I'm dodging. Dodge what? I'm literally confronting it head on. Now listen, that spitting thing, yeah, you can criticize me for that all you want. But to act like Aang is 0% fault is crazy. And I'm not even only talking about the cafeteria incident, I'm talking about the whole drama start to finish. And he knows I'm talking about that. Bro is putting 0 blame on Aang and 100% blame on me. Also, he's complaining about me screaming when he's literally sitting right next to us when it's all going down. Aang was literally cutting me off by being louder than me, which isn't that screaming to some extent? Each time when Aang gets brought up one way or another, he would only list down the bad things I've done, which all he can list is the screaming and spitting. And never once did he list down anything bad that Aang did, which is like a mountain of them compared to mine. And then anytime when I try to explain to him why Aang is wrong, the argument would just magically end there with him going, no bro, I don't want to hear it bro, I don't want to hear it. This all culminated one day when I was really bored, so I decided to get back at Aang a little bit. So I secretly took his calculator just to mess with him. I was gonna give it back eventually. I guess Stinkbug over here decided that no, I'm not allowed to get back at his owner, but he's allowed to do anything he wants to me. And he snitches on me. Well, I at least gotta give him credit for telling Aang to not make it to a situation and he'll just get the calculator back from me and he'll give it back to him. But at that point, I just snapped, bro. Bro lets his owner do anything he wants to me, but the moment I try to do something back, he just shuts it down immediately. So I just blocked him in every single place I could, Instagram, Discord, which a few days later he found out, and he was complaining about it to my friend, saying, what did he do to me? Which, I don't know man, you can take a guess on that one yourself. Like, only now would he sit down and have a productive conversation with me in DMs. And guess what? This guy shows his unfathomably dumb side to me. Now, the argument is pretty long, and if I try to explain all of it, this video will go from right now 17 minutes long to 2 hours long, with all the in-detail roasting I'm gonna do. So I'll only include the very first part. And I hate to say it, but the argument does not get any smarter from there. Like, it only goes downhill in IQ. That's how stupid this guy is. So I start off the argument by complaining that every time when his owner does something to me, he just lets it slide. But now when I want to get a little bit of revenge, he just snitches on me. And you will not guess what bro said. This dumbass actually had the balls to type out. And I quote, first of all, you should be grateful I even let you steal. You might think that it might be up there one of the dumbest statements you've ever heard, but I already told you, it only gets stupider from here. So if you couldn't figure out why that was stupid, going by his logic, if I snitch on him to the teacher and he gets in trouble, he should thank me if I get him out of trouble. Like, no, he shouldn't thank me because I'm the reason he got even in trouble in the first place. Like, me getting him out of trouble is the least I can do. On top of all that, this is the first time I've heard that snitching on me equals letting me do it. Yep, we're not beating around the bush on how stupid this is. And I don't even know what does anything that he just said have to do with what I just told him. But yeah, I immediately destroyed him with that. Bro actually thought that was a good counterpoint. Not only that, he even followed up by saying a bunch of stuff about that calculator thing, pretty much implying he thinks that if something bad happens to his friend, he should tell him. Wow, isn't that convenient? Maybe if he told me that Aang was gonna try and piss me off before the cafeteria incident happened, then I wouldn't have screamed and spit at him then. Yeah, no, everything he says throughout the argument is just rules for me but not for Aang. Which is like level 100 double standards. As the argument goes by, I would bring up every single point and problem I have with this guy. Which, spoiler alert, it ended before I could finish my list. Like him blaming me 100% and him blaming Aang 0%. Him just being outright biased. The why would I want to befriend someone that could harm me being actual bullcrap and not actually making sense. And now he would, yes, that does make sense. At the end of the argument, bro was crying, begging me to save this friendship. He was like, come on, man. Which, what do you mean, come on man? You're the one that caused all this, so why are you come on manning on me? I had to say that out loud very slowly so that it wouldn't sound weird, but even then it still sounds weird. And then he does the most disingenuous apology ever, starting it off by glazing me, saying that I'm such a good friend, something. Even from a mile, you could tell that this was just to appease me. But I still had to see his ugly face in school for like a few more months. So I pretended to accept its apology, and then a few months later, we graduated, and now I'm here and I blocked him. And a few months later, another friend from that group chat also turned out to be a secret snake, and I blocked that guy as well. Very shocking, I know. Although recently, when I bumped into one of my school teachers outside, he was congratulating me about my exam results, and he told me to tell Stickbug that he's happy with his results. For context, this teacher is one of Stickbug's subjects teachers. So I unblocked Stickbug to tell him this. So I took this opportunity to try and repair this friendship, which is a big mistake, honestly. This guy's a fucking snake. I told him I was still mad at him, and he was like barely surprised, like, wow. Okay, damn. And I told him that we should play a game to squash the beef. But he said he's busy for a few days, and after he's not busy anymore, we can play. Although it's been a little bit longer than the few days, so I feel like I forgot about it by now. Which just shows he never actually cared about this to begin with, so I don't even know why he's trying to repair the friendship in the first place. So yeah, I blocked him again after that. But yeah, we're at the 20 minutes mark. There's nothing new to this story anymore. So that's pretty much the end of this video. More of the story, I don't know, Devil May Cry 5 story now takes 4 years to finish, I don't know. Actually, on a more serious note, more of the story, don't befriend snakes. It's a simple yet very useful mindset to have. If you guys know any friends that you think are worse than these, then share it down with me in the comments down below and I'll take a read. Don't worry, I do read comments, I just don't heart all the comments because I got lazy. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and press the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.